Hey Facebook, what's up? That light's a bit weird, isn't it? Eh? So, I am in today Unstoppable HQ, where you have a gentleman in for a half-day consultation. So I'm just waiting for my man, and I wanted to share this lesson that I got over the weekend from last week and yesterday. Hey Ryan, what's up? I want to share this lesson with you today because it's a big deal. It's a big deal, this thing. And I've kind of mentioned it before, but I had this realization again just yesterday morning, actually. And obviously I've said this before. I get so many messages from so many guys. Like I've said, I can't reply to DMs. I've said it a bunch of times. I get so many messages, I just can't keep up with them. But I do give the option of people emailing me. And one of the things that I hear regularly is the subject of not having any motivation. I want to change, I just can't seem to get the motivation. Or I don't seem to have the motivation to do it. Okay? And by the way, I just wanted to let you know, because I told my buddy I'd do this, I'm speaking in Skegness on the 8th of March alongside Ricky Hatton and Dean Windass. There are still a couple of tickets available. It's a charity event. I'm giving up my time for free. I'm going to be taking along a bunch of my books to the event as well, to sign, etc., etc. So if you want to come along, I'm going to post the poster in the comments. So just a reminder of that. So motivation. So last week I really fucking struggled. I think I remember posting a video on Thursday saying that I'd been fucked for the whole week. Really tired the whole week. Just struggled. I must have had some kind of sickness because now my little girl's got it. And yesterday and Sunday, I found myself telling this story. It's a very common story for a lot of men. Is that I woke up and I was still quite tired and I had a real busy day. And I found myself telling this old story of I just have no motivation. I don't have any motivation. Hands up if you ever felt like that, or if you're feeling like that right now. I just have no motivation. Or I haven't got the motivation that I had before. Maybe you say that. I get it a lot of the time. People saying to me, Paul, I wish I had your motivation. You ever had that? Give me a yes if that's you, so I know I'm not wasting my fucking time on here. I want to give you some content that you can use. Now, if you don't have a problem with motivation, then there's no point in me doing this video. Yeah, motivation is a struggle. Okay. Good. Okay, so here's the thing that I know about motivation, okay? It is an emotion. Motivation is an emotion, okay? And what I know about emotions is that you don't have them. You create them. So when we say, I don't have any motivation, I need to have some motivation. I need to have more motivation. I don't have the motivation that I had before. You don't have motivation. You don't have it. You don't have it. You create it. You create it. You experience the emotion of motivation. And just like any emotion, like I've said in my book, if you still haven't bought it, what are you doing? But like I said in my book, all these emotions that you experience, you don't have depression. You experience the emotion of depression. Same with anxiety. You don't have anxiety. You experience the emotion of it. And the great news is that you're creating all of it. So for you, Kevin, lying on the settee with no motivation to get up, you have to create the motivation. What I do know is it's just not going to show up. It's not going to show up. It's not a superpower. What is a superpower is the ability to create motivation. And guess what? Everybody does have that. Everybody has that. But you've got to be willing to do it. If you are willing to create the emotion of motivation, then that's how you get it. So I just want to reiterate a very simple point. I'm going to repeat this over and over again. It's what I do. I repeat these points over and over again because I want to get them across. You do not have motivation. You never had it. You create the emotion of motivation. You create the emotion of motivation, just like You create the motivation of depression. You create the emotion of anxiety. You create the emotion of sadness. You create the emotion of happiness. You have the power to create all of these. So how do I do it? Well, it's real simple for me. It's real simple for me. If you've ever set any goals, outcomes, and you've spent time creating a plan, right? Every time you do this, you create a feeling of motivation. Think about that for a second. Every time you've ever set a plan, created a plan, thought about and written down some goals, some outcomes, some desires, something that you want, you create that feeling, right? The problem is it starts to disappear for most people. Now that's not down to they've lost motivation. What's happened is they've got distracted. And I've said this before, you just get distracted. So what I'm saying is this, the more attention you give, the deeper you give attention to what you want and how you want to feel, the more attention you give to it, then the more motivation you'll feel, the more motivation you'll create. It's that fucking simple. And the reality is this, you're either fucking willing to or you're not. So I've got a few guys saying it's hard to create reasons. It's not really. It just requires some effort. And you're either willing to or you're not. It's not just going to fucking show up. It's not just going to show up. It's not going to fucking show up. J-Lo knows, so here's the thing. Damn. So here's the thing, and listen. So listen, those are my two things. Yeah. J-Lo, you can't wait for me to do this better. I should check out some of your videos if you've got it down, bro. Yeah. So, again, you're either willing to create this motivation or you are not willing. And that, if you're not willing, that's okay. There are a bunch of things that you can do. When I am not feeling motivated, I do not just wait for it to show up. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to fucking rest today. It's okay. That's okay too. But I'm either willing to create the emotion of motivation, or I'm willing to stay unmotivated. It's that simple. So all I do is I tend to just put attention on my intentions daily. Attention on what I want. Attention on how I want to feel. That's it. There you go. Tell myself I feel depressed. And then act like it as a result, yeah. Again, this solution to this is in my book. How do you want to feel? We get so obsessed with how we don't want to feel that's what we get. We stay there. You are able to generate any fucking emotion you want. You're able to create that. Alex is asking, can someone or something create emotion of depression? Yes. That's all that depression is. You're experiencing the emotion of depression. Motivation is hard to come by when you're so down. Yeah. Are you willing to create it? Are you willing to, yes or no? Honestly, it's as simple as that. You are either willing to create motivation or you are willing to stay where you are. So it's this simple. He has a strategy. How do I want to feel? I want to feel motivated. What am I willing to do to feel motivated? You don't have to be willing to do anything crazy. Everyone's going to have a different recipe for this. But what I do know is that everyone has the capacity and everyone has the ability to create the emotion of motivation. That's all that's happening. We just get obsessed. Look at how many times you guys are mentioning how you don't want to feel and how you're feeling right now. Focus on how you do want to fucking feel. And then get clear on what you're willing to do to feel like that. Listen, I get it. I was like this all last week. I was all over the fucking place last week. If you saw my video on Thursday, I went off on one. I went absolutely off on one. At all the criticism and resistance I'm getting from people. But I get it. When I see the things that I see, I get it. People don't like hearing these fucking truths. People don't like hearing that I'm not going to fucking blow smoke up your ass and tell you that everything's okay and that it's not your fault. Because the reality is, how we feel is our fucking responsibility. People don't like it. Yeah, Chris, a to-do list can help. Yeah. A to-do list can help. To-do list can help. For me, it was a check-in on my goals, a check-in on what I wanted and where I was at, and getting clear. There you go, Zariah, tell me you're depressed. You're just experiencing the emotion of depression. How do you want to feel? What are you willing to do? And it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. It's hard until it isn't, until it becomes a habit. Listen to that for a second, what I've just said. It can be hard until it isn't. But the only way for it not to be hard anymore is by putting in the fucking effort required. That's the only way to get better at something. Practice. Some of us are so practiced in experiencing. Some of us are so fucking practiced in experiencing depression, the emotion of depression, and feeling the emotions of feeling down. We get so practiced at that we just fucking accept it. Get clear on what it is you want to feel. And get clear on what you're fucking willing to do. And do it. If you're not willing to do it, that's okay. But the reality is, you're either willing to do what's required to feel different, or you're willing to stay the fucking same. It's that simple. It's that simple. I'm not going to put it any other way. You don't have motivation. You create it. That's me, because I'm getting sucked into these. We're able to create any emotion. You create motivation. You don't have it. You fucking create it. Same with all those other emotions. So let's go out and do it. Okay, listen. Give me some feedback on the video. Tell me what the biggest take home you've had here. Share the video. Like the video. We've got an important message to spread here. Go out and create your motivation.